It was a show where Quentin Rampage's son Raja took kind of business into his own hands, if you want to even call it that. He assaulted another wrestler, Syko Stu, who, according to CBS Sports, is stable but in critical condition after an in-ring attack that he suffered. The video has been shared so many times. Everybody's weighed in on this from all sorts of news sources. Allegedly or reportedly, Knox Pros had their ID designation stripped from them, or at least the mentions are not on social media anymore of their affiliation with the ID program. Scary sight to see, Book. I don't know what your initial reactions were to it.
I mean, my initial reactions is just like everybody else that is of sound mind. Same thing they thought about it. I thought it was an egregious act. I thought it was aggravated assault at the least. And I thought that I think anybody who had a part of that should take a little bit of part of the blame. It's that simple. I mean, Jackson, the kid, of course he's going to have a lot of blame to atone for. But whoever had him in there, they're going to take a lot of the blame as well. This was something that shouldn't have happened all across the board. No way this should have happened. My thing is this: I've had a wrestling school for 20 years. I've been running shows for, quite some time, and this has, not come close to actually ever happening in the ring. Just because me as a wrestling fan, as a kid, I always knew what wrestling was. Ever since I was a little bitty kid watching it with my grandfather in Louisiana on the sofa, literally when I was 5 years old, I knew what wrestling was. I knew it was entertainment. I knew these guys wasn't in there trying to kill each other. And then when I saw that, it was something totally different. And for young Jackson not to know that this is entertainment, that's definitely going to be on him, and he's going to have to, hold responsibility to that. But whoever put him in the ring, they should have knew. They should have fair well knew. One thing about this business is safety first. One thing I noticed when I saw the video was Syko Stu gave him his body.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fight against it when he was up there on the shoulders of young Jackson. You know what I mean? He took the bump, and the bump was so devastating it knocked him out. Okay, now I don't know if that was supposed to be the angle, such as Rampage Jackson back in the day, with the big knockout from the big slam and the guy going to sleep. I don't know if they were trying to reenact that or not, but if that was the case, the match should have been over with right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all the extra added, blows to an unconscious guy. Even if the guy wasn't unconscious, after he got hit a few times, he was unconscious. So it's a lot of blame to go around here. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't condone it, no way, shape, form, or fashion. And anybody who is condoning it, there again, that's something that they're gonna have to live with. But for me, I just thought it was an egregious act.
Yeah, and I also agree that whomever gave Raja the green light to go in and be involved in this from a physical aspect, they do share in the responsibility and the blame for this. It should have never happened. In times that I know at Reality of Wrestling where we've had wrestlers involved in angles, it's always done from a very structured standpoint. It's always rehearsed, gone through, talked about, double, triple, quadruple checked, and not even just for our non-wrestlers, for our performers alike, for our wrestlers alike. Everything's done from a safety perspective. And that's just bare minimum rule number one of this industry. And Syko Stu, excuse me, his safety was not looked after in that moment. And thankfully, the boys went and covered and got him off there as quick as they could. But it was a frightening sight.
I mean, we've had several, rappers, guys that come in and do stuff.
Mike Jackson.
Maven. Mike Jackson, Maven hadn't been in the ring in years, and our biggest concern was Maven not going out there and pulling a hamstring, getting in the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to make it's always safety first,
right?
You know, in these aspects. And for Syko Stu, there again, I've heard mention that Syko Stu got beat up, and that right there is just totally something. That's just wrong. It's just wrong all the way across the board, because I didn't see Syko Stu throw a punch. Okay, I saw that guy give his body up and get knocked out and almost get his life taken away from him, to where he ended up in the hospital in critical condition. And now, if anybody think that's right, and you know, because I've given my body up to a lot of guys, and you know, one time I gave my body up to a guy, and I got my bell rang, and I was out for 3 months straight. 3 months. And you know what? My brother wanted to kill the guy. My brother wanted to kill him. And this was inside the square circle in a WCW ring, and it was something that was done. I don't know. I don't think the guy did it on purpose, but he definitely didn't know what he was doing. And if he would have added some extra punches to me, you know, it would have been nothing I could have done about it. In the situation that I was in. So I just say, you know, when in this business, when we're giving up our bodies, you know, you got to be in there with someone who knows exactly what they're doing, because it's all about taking care of the guy that you're in there with. Being able to go to this and do this again, hopefully another day. And I pray for the dude. I pray for Stu to get better and get back in the ring. And I feel like Roger Jackson, he's in a bad position too. He's in a really bad position, because I don't think he woke up that morning thinking that, you know, he was going to be in a position like he is right now, dealing with, you know, police, you know, dealing with lawyers, you know, DAs and all that kind of stuff. You know, lawyers. It's going to be. This is just the beginning of the fallout of this situation.
It is, and it's a travesty all the way around, and it should have never happened, because it was 100% preventable. Something like this was preventable from happening. So, you know, again, we hope Syko Stu recovers as quickly as possible, and that he's all good. You know, he's a member of the fraternity, so we always want to make sure that they're doing well. But we got to take a break. I know we're going to talk about more here inside the Hall of Fame. Back in a minute.
Stick around, guys. You're in the hall. We'll be back in a minute.